My stepbrother had a PhD in destroying my happiness, so I gave him a masterclass in self-destruction. My stepbrother Ezekiel destroyed anything that made me happy. When I spent 6 months restoring this old motorcycle, he drained the oil and ran the engine until it seized. When I rescued a stray dog and spent weeks training it, he took it to a shelter across town while I was at school. When I grew these rare orchids from seeds for my biology project, he poured bleach in the pots the night before presentation. Ezekiel got worse as we got older and developed a routine for getting away with it. Every time I confronted him, he'd run to our parents with tears and twisted stories. The motorcycle became him trying to help. The dog escaped through a gate I left open. The orchids died because he overwatered them trying to help. Our parents believed every lie because his dad paid for everything while my mom brought only debt. I learned to hide what mattered, but Ezekiel always found it. The camera I saved up for months to start a photography business ended up in the pool during a party. Ezekiel told our parents I was wasted and knocked it in myself. I was actually at work that night, but they believed him anyway. His dad lectured me about being responsible with expensive equipment. The college essay was my only shot at escaping through academic scholarships. I'd been perfecting it since junior year, and every teacher who read it said it guaranteed admission. The topic was perseverance through family hardship, which felt more relevant each day. I password protected every file and saved copies in 3 places because Ezekiel had never touched my schoolwork before. But suddenly he showed interest in my college applications and kept hovering around my laptop. He asked questions about my essay and offered help I didn't want. The night before my deadline, I returned from my restaurant shift to find disaster. My laptop was open, and the essay file showed error messages. Cloud backups were deleted, and my USB drive was snapped in half on my desk. Ezekiel appeared in my doorway with a soda and that familiar smirk. Weird how technology fails when you need it most, he said casually. I desperately tried rewriting from memory, but couldn't recreate 2 years of work in one night. At 12:03 a.m., the submission portal rejected me for missing the deadline. Ezekiel posted about getting into the same school early decision. Something inside me shifted from hot anger to cold clarity. I wasn't going to be his victim anymore. I was going to be his destroyer. 2 weeks later, I was tutoring Ezekiel's girlfriend in computer science when she logged into her email. I noticed she still had access to Ezekiel's cloud storage from an old group project. She mentioned he never changed passwords and forgot to remove permissions. After she left, I checked if the access worked. Inside, I found Ezekiel's entire academic life was fake. The folders contained purchased essays with other students' names still visible, and receipts from writing services. His applications claimed leadership of non-existent clubs and volunteer work at closed organizations. He'd lied about being first generation when his biological father graduated from the same Ivy League. The crown jewel was discovering he'd submitted the identical purchased essay to all 7 schools. I spent 3 days organizing evidence into packages for each university. Ezekiel's whole identity depended on fake achievements, which made him vulnerable. I created anonymous email accounts and waited until all his acceptances arrived. Ezekiel threw an enormous party when 7 acceptance letters arrived, including his dream Ivy League school. His father bought him a luxury car while our parents cried with pride over his success. During his speech about hard work and integrity, he pulled me aside for another drink. You know what the best part about getting into these schools is? He said quietly. Knowing that some people just aren't meant for greatness. The next morning, I executed my plan with surgical precision. Each admissions office received customized packages from untraceable email accounts I'd created at the public library. I sent side-by-side comparisons showing Ezekiel's submitted essays word for word matching ones sold online. I included screenshots of the writing service receipts with his payment information visible. The volunteer locations he'd listed had been parking lots for years according to the demolition permits I'd attached. I even tracked down the real presidents of his fake clubs, who confirmed they'd never heard of Ezekiel. The first rescission letter arrived within 1 week. Ezekiel's hands shook as he opened it, and his face went from confused to terrified. He immediately called the admissions office demanding explanations, but they wouldn't discuss ongoing investigations. More letters arrived daily as universities compared notes and found identical essays across applications. His dream school didn't just rescind, but permanently banned him and flagged his name in their shared database. Ezekiel's father hired 3 different law firms, but even they couldn't argue with receipts and demolition records. By week's end, Ezekiel had 0 acceptances and a permanent fraud marker following his name. Ezekiel's at community college while I graduate summa cum laude with multiple job offers. 4 years later, he still applies to transfer but gets rejected due to his fraud flag. He's on his 4th major blaming mysterious hackers. The person who destroyed my happiness finally destroyed the only thing left, himself.